This week on Lost, Jack has a new take on the phrase, keep calm and carry on.
I think you should just shut up and relax.
A St. Teresa's nurse says, who?
Who?
And what is the question on everyone's lips?
Why did you do this to me?
Welcome to my Lost Rewatch, where I'm revisiting every episode of the show Lost and talking about the good, the bad, and the mysteries. This week is Season 1, Episode 19, Deus Ex Machina. Let's get lost! This week, the show finally remembers that it introduced a mysterious hatch in the ground to us a while back. During the so far only time we've seen an attempt to open the thing, Locke skewers himself with a piece of Rewatch. The T is silent. Whatever power that restored Locke's ability to walk now seems to be taking it away, and just in time for a potentially dangerous mission. Ow! In flashbacks, we see that Locke gets stooped out of one of his kidneys, and it is sad. And that was Deus Ex Machina, or God from the Machine, a name that usually is given to that trope in movies where some unexpected turn of events occurs, usually to save the day. Think things like the Eagles coming to save Frodo and Sam from Mordor, Superman spinning the Earth backwards to turn back time so he can save Lois, or the little green aliens operating that claw machine at the end of Toy Story 3 when all the toys are gonna die. So how does that relate here? What is the Deus Ex Machina in this episode? Is it A, Locke's flashback hair cushions his blow from a hit and run? B, the island prevents Locke from climbing up to the Beechcraft to keep him safe? C, Desmond going to the bathroom reaffirms Locke's faith? Or D, there being enough saved up pairs of dead people's glasses from the flight for Sawyer to have a full eye test and find 2 different pairs of glasses to suit his needs? I think I'm going to need to ask the audience on this one. Oh, it appears that I don't have an audience anymore because I didn't make a video for such a long time. Well, at least I'll always have you, PB.
If we don't stop.
Back when I first watched Deus Ex Machina in 2005, it was just an episode about unfortunate things happening to a sad man. Rewatching in 2026 and seeing how rife the episode is with Locke being manipulated one way or another is, as the kids say today, fire.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
Whether it's Locke explaining the game of Mousetrap to a kid, or the island taking away his mobility so that it wouldn't be him that fell down in the Beechcraft, or whether it's a kooky, bloody Boone and weird, swoozy, furry mom dream pushing him to do something, or whether it's a light turning on, putting new wind into Locke's sails, or the most obvious one, his birth father taking his kidney.
You have a dad?
Everyone's got a dad.
Is he cool?
No. No, he's not.
Lost is telling us one thing, and that it's Locke is very easily manipulated.
Good shot, son.
He's like a lost lamb that could be slaughtered at any time. And I know about lambs that could be slaughtered at any time because the same night that I watched this episode, I actually came across a little lamb on the road and had to save its life.
Was better, and you want to pitch it. You're basically telling the boss, I don't respect everybody else's experience. And there's another word you said that I think is very crucial here, which is the pout. If your idea doesn't fly, if the strong number 2 doesn't take your idea, you don't clamp.
If I hadn't picked that little thing up and put it back into the sheep field, it could have wandered off onto the motorway and got hit by a car. That would have been sad. Almost as sad as Locke's life. Whoa. Maybe I am the island. Now let's go to a message from this week's sponsor. Does a polar bear shit in the woods?
Yes?
Well, pick it up, and here's a tissue. I think you missed a spot.
Thank you.
Dharma Standard Polar Bear Poo Bags, available now in all good jungles. Alright, let's spin that donkey wheel and go back in time to 2005 to see what people were saying about this episode when it aired. OMG, how sad was this episode? Locke has got to be one of the most tragic characters of all time. My heart hurts. I know he's only a fictional character, but... Tonight's epi was good. I laughed, got confused, and almost upset. Not fully upset? Next week's epi will be a sad one. I really wish it wasn't Boone who was going to die. I don't get why the writers would kill off a main character when there's a bunch of other minor characters to kill. It totally sucked that Boone got someone on the radio and the voice said there were no survivors when the plane crashed to the ground. I'm wondering why the voice said there were no survivors. Did they find proof that everyone died, or are they assuming? This was the big thing in this episode. People could not decide whether the voice on the radio said there were no survivors or we're the survivors. Thank God I'm not the only one who noticed that. I'm like, huh? What the hell makes this guy think that they're all dead? They're not. They're alive. Alive, I tell you. Alive! Me thinks that maybe this is some kind of parallel wacky universe or something, and that maybe they really are actually dead. What? No, please don't be dead. Don't let that be the answer. I don't really see why anyone has to die. I mean, we are just getting to know these characters. Why mess up a good thing? But I guess that's why I don't make the big bucks to write TV shows. Cute new smile. The closed captions on my TV said that there was a voice that said there were no survivors of the plane crash. Now I'm wondering if Boone was talking to a real person or if he was talking to someone on the island. Maybe everyone is doomed and they're all gonna die on the island. Everyone dies sometime, kiddo. I don't think they're going to make someone get hurt and then slowly die. I think someone is just going to all of a sudden drop dead and it will shock us all. So, hoping it's not Boone. I guess this person forgot about the Marshal slowly dying over 3 episodes. If Locke still had use of his legs, he probably would have wanted to climb onto that plane. The island obviously still wants Locke around, so it had to be made so that Locke couldn't go. I was deeply moved by Locke's pain in the car. Those of us who have known such pain in isolation, with no one to comfort us, can relate. It was indeed one of the most profound moments in television programming. Hey, does anyone know about the music? It's incredible the way that it lifts the scenes along, especially those tense ones at the ending one, I hope. Does anyone have any guesses as to what's in the hatch after this episode? Nah, I don't think anybody's even thinking about it, dude. Too much Kate. Best episode ever. Thank you for restoring my faith. Creepiest moment on TV, hands down. Teresa falls down the stairs, Teresa falls up the stairs. Alright, that's Teresa falls up the stairs, Teresa falls down the stairs. No! He's too pretty to die! Locke's parents deserve to die. Speaking of which, they look the same age as Locke. Yeah, there's only a few years difference between the actors. Very funny. Why did Kate stick around for Sawyer's exam? That was incredibly unprofessional of Jack. He should have known that he wouldn't get straight answers to personal questions with Kate there, and I didn't do it for him afterwards was annoying. Jack wasn't trying to be professional. He was deliberately messing with Sawyer, and I thought it was hilarious. But I still love Sawyer more. I'm sad about Boone. He's just so pretty. I wish it was Jin instead. I loved Jack helping Sawyer and busting on him. Poor, this one was okay. Better than some of the others. Lost fucking rules! And now it's time to choose a Saeed with Whose Saeed Are You On? I know I'm beginning to sound a little bit like a broken record, but this week, Jack and Sawyer are neck and neck. Jack had a little bit more fun with Sawyer than he maybe ought to have done, but when it comes to it, Jack helped someone who was in need, which is what he does best. And Sawyer, well, he showed Jack a little crack in his shell and let himself be humbled. They are not best friends, but if they can be on each other's side, then I want to be on their side too. Did you know that in 2004, the character of Anthony Cooper is supposed to be 80 years old? This episode's flashbacks take place in 1993, which means that Locke is a bad 37, but Cooper is a good 69.
You want to play hardball? I'm game.
Well, this week's biggest liar is Locke, isn't it? Let's skip over how both of Locke's parents have lied to his face, and let's focus on Locke, because he's supposed to be our protagonist, yet here he is lying about how Boone got injured, because God forbid anybody find out about his precious hatch. This episode addressed a few of the ongoing mysteries. For example, Locke's paralysis. The show went out of its way to give us a few bait and switches. Locke might have been paralyzed. Locke might have been paralyzed by the car that hits him in the car park, but then he gets up and guns it. And then obviously the surgery, there could have been something went wrong with the surgery. And then whilst it doesn't quite give you this bait and switch, when Locke is driving angrily, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking he's going to crash or something's going to happen. But no, the mystery of how Locke got paralyzed is going to continue until the show cannot hold it back any longer. Another big mystery is the light turning on inside the hatch. Call to action. Please leave a comment. What did you think was going on when that light came on? For me, I have a vague recollection that I thought it might be related to the monster, given how when Locke talks about seeing the eye of this island in episode 4, he refers to it as a light, and here we have a light turning on. So I have a vague recollection of me thinking that the monster was in the hatch. So yeah, let me know what you thought was inside the hatch. And the final mystery that we're going to talk about in this episode is who was going to die in season 1. Although he's not dead yet, and we have all watched the show, so we know he's going to die, it certainly feels like Boone is on his last legs in this episode. We've had numerous fake outs so far, with minor characters such as Joanna dying, such as Scott dying, and then we've had the Charlie being brought back to life thing and the Shannon being killed in a hallucination thing. It just feels like now is time for a character to die, despite the fact that most of the comments in the message boards didn't think he was going to. I am excited to read next week's message boards. Well, that was Lost Season 1, Episode 19, Deus Ex Machina. Agree or disagree with me about my thoughts in the comment section. But remember, please be like Hurley and be nice. I hope to see you next week for Season 1, Episode 20, Do No Harm, where we say goodbye to Boone. All right, with that, let's go. See you in another episode, brother. Bye.
Keep him steady.
Jack, what's going on?
You are not gonna die. I am gonna save you.
Claire? What are you doing out here? Oh, God. You're having the baby. Somebody help!
You have to deliver the baby.
I'm so scared. I'm scared, too.
Let me go, Jack. I'm not gonna let you give up.
An all-new Lost, next Wednesday at 8/7 Central, only on EB.